welcome back to my channel, where I'm mainly an author, but I'm also playing around with inks and pens because I write all my books longhand first. And so recently I've basically swapped from writing in any other pen to fountain pen again, which I used to do ages ago. And yeah, and with this comes a whole barrage of new possibilities, new colors, new everything. And for March, I gave myself a little theme. I quite like the idea of themes, to be honest. But I didn't want to do the obvious thing and go for mainly green. So I will have one green in the lineup because otherwise it would feel a bit weird. But it's my theme is mainly like a cloud over a garden, like let's say like a stormy sky over a garden of blossom. That's sort of my the picture that I had in my mind. And what I hadn't anticipated is that the pens that I chose, they're not matchy, but they are in sort of, they go very well together. They look extremely nice together. And so I also want to have like note that I will include 2 of my own mixes in the lineup. I realize that it's not very helpful if I have too many of my mixes. So I think 2 is sort of the maximum that we can go for. But although I recently went on a bit of an ordering spree, I really want to make an effort to keep my ink collection small, and in order to do that, I just have to resolve 2 more mixing. I also wanted to acknowledge that I've inked up the pens and I had a bit of an incident. So yeah, I'm very aware that my hands look like they look. So the first one that I want to swatch is a custom mix of mine. I put them in these little ink vials. They are really horrible, really. They don't really, I bought them off Amazon, but they're not the screw top kind, but the push down top kind. And they have like little bits of plastic at the bottom, so they don't really stand very securely. So yeah, that's not great. So yeah, let's get started. So as I said, the first one is a mix of mine. I want to do big swatches, basically like a big thing on this side and like smaller circles on this one. Just how best to do this. Yeah, and to swatch, I'm using a small pipette. This came with a recent ink order, and I quite like it because it's quite sturdy plastic, even though it's tiny. And to do the round swatches, I will use the top of a Diamine 30 milliliter bottle, because that's sort of the closest that I've come to like a proper swink. I find it really, even the small, like the acrylic stamp blocks, I haven't found one that is easily accessible to me. Even on Etsy, I could not find one, and I didn't want to go via Timo. And then for the, sorry, I forgot to take this out. Ooh. Put the kitty back up. And for the other swatch, I'm using just a plastic spoon to do the big one on the other side. and talk a bit more about the mix. It's included, I did an ink mixing video, especially for like the March theme, where I, went through and just tried to find great combinations. And this is a mix that of ancient copper, like all diamine, ancient copper, china blue, and Lady Grey. Lady Grey is the main part. But yeah, it just gives this amazing stormy blue-gray that I just love. And I put it in my Jinhao 82 dried hydrangea rose, which is like a dupe of the Sailor Pro Gear Slim, I believe. And it has sort of very subtle shimmer. It's one of their limited editions. Don't know if they're truly limited or whether they just say that to make you buy them. But this one was one I could not pass up because, I just love the two tones. And I'm not, the thing is, I have really big hands, and I don't post my pens. So I think I would have been quite sad if I'd gone for the original first, because I mean, lots of people go from the Jinhao 82s to the Sailor. I don't think I can do that, to be honest. I need a slightly bigger pen. So the name I gave this ink is Ancient Blue Lady, because that has sort of an element of all, like the ancient copper, the china blue, and the Lady Grey. And I just love how this comes out as a custom mix. And this is in my Jinhao 82 dried hydrangea rose. This has a medium nib, and I have another Jinhao 82 with a medium nib, and this one is way smoother than the other. So I definitely prefer the writing experience with this one. And I just hope that this would, do justice to the shading in this ink, because I think that's just such a amazing coincidence. It took me quite a while to get this ink right. But I think the result is lovely. So going to the next one, so it's always with the clear pipettes on the white desk. That's so difficult to see. Now, the next ink has become one of my staples, and Posé de Lune by Jacques Arbon. It's one of the first ink bottles I bought because I was writing a manuscript in a purple book at the time, and I wanted something to sort of match. And this was I was thinking maximalist. This is a 100-milliliter bottle. I don't know how I will go through all this, but I was basically thinking, I have a whole manuscript to go through. Best get the biggest bottle available, and this was available for a really good price, so I jumped on it. And then you go through sort of the regret phase, but actually this is just a lovely purple. It's sort of a more red-leaning purple. And actually, and the pen I put it in was a bit of an adjustment at first. But it's such a good match that I wonder whether it will be almost like a permanent pairing. Because I've inked it up. I have actually this has been, because I just wanted to try it, this has been in my rotation for quite a while. It's almost like a carryover. It was never part officially of the February or currently inked. But yeah, I just love the way this is so much more red leaning and has sort of a, you know, when it's, the sky is really ominous, and I thought we need a reddish purple in here too, so that's sort of the one that I went with. And the pen I put it in is the Pilot Gakuno of the Madarome series brown, which everyone remarks upon that it has more purple tones. And actually, it matches the Posidilene really, really well. And because this pen is so light, like in weight, it was a huge adjustment for me, because I'm used to more heftier pens, like more like with metal parts and everything. And at first, I really hated my handwriting with it because it was so bouncy and light and just looked weird. So I'm going to do the aber Posir de Lune, and that's in the Pilot Gakuno Madarome brown. And also because this is quite a fine nib, and it took me a while to get used to that. But now I love it. So it has become, because of my work schedule, I can't really do morning pages, because that would mean me getting up at like an ungodly hour. So I'm doing evening pages, and this has been the preferred pen recently for the evening pages that I do. And yeah, you can see it somehow works. So yeah, that might become a semi-permanent pairing, which was not at all what I expected. So yeah, let's go to something not completely different, but to the blossom part of the whole thing. And I recently put an order in at Cold Pens and got a few, I think 2 pink options, because I realized I have 1 pink and that is not really readable. So yeah, Cashmere Rose from the Purple Inkwent was the one I went with. Why do we put it? Yeah, maybe put it here. That works best with what's to come. Let's make funny noises. So basically I ordered the Cashmere Rose and the Wilted Rose. The Wilted Rose is from the 24, from the, was it the black Inkbent? And the Wilted Rose is way more brown. And for this one, because it's already quite dark, I really wanted something more pinky pink. It's still muted, because I can't do pinks that are too bright. I find them really difficult, because I have to then, after writing, I have to read it back and transcribe everything. And I find that really, really difficult if the pink is too, not only light, but bright. So I mislaid the spoon. I really like to do the big picture theme swatches. I think the first one I saw this doing was Danielle at my Dandelion Diaries. And I really like the idea, because then you can sort of see all the colors truly side by side. And this one I actually put another Pilot Kakuno from the Madarumi series, and it's the blue one. I know this doesn't really match, but because this has a medium nib and because it's a bit lighter, the ink, so I really wanted to use a light ink. Because I dip tested this and I didn't really get the blue out that well. I'm sort of doing a bit of scribbling at the side. So this is my ink vent. And I think that's like going with the broader nib on here. I didn't write down, so this is a fine. This one's medium. And yeah, I only inked this up today, so I haven't actually written with this yet. But I think it's a good idea to, have this, the medium nib, for the pink. Then I also wanted a more, not standard, but a more recognizable blue in the lineup. I don't really, I've been on the hunt for my perfect blue and ended up ordering too many similar inks. And I did like a ink comparison thing here on the channel, and I realized I had not put Diamine Baltic Breeze from this black ink vent in a pen at all. So I knew this was something that needed to happen pretty fast. So I really want to make sure that I have all my inks going into pens, and that I keep track of what's not been used. To be a bit more careful with space here. And this one is very similar to Robert Oster Wind, but it has sort of a bronzy shimmer, which I was really fascinated by. But it's sort of a soft, a bit purplish blue. So this was exactly what I thought would complement the rest of the palette quite well, because it's not a royal blue. I really have a big issue with royal blues, to be honest. It's the whole school remember thing, because also there wasn't that much around when I was in school, like affordable ink cartridges for the school pens. You were really limited in your choices. I think that's sort of why I really don't like to go for the royal blues, unless like I have one blue black that I use for dip testing. And because this one has a shimmer, and one of the pens that really handled shimmer well recently was the Aswine C80. And this one is the green glitter colorway. So this is Diamine Ink Vent Baltic Breeze in the Aswine C80 green glitter, and that's a fine nib, but with a big number 8 nib, it really writes more than like a medium. And the last time it was in my February lineup, I really enjoyed it so much that I thought, this one, if I want shimmer, this one went really well, so let's do this. And yeah, and I also like that it's like the blue is sort of adjacent, but really distinguishable from the ancient blue lady. So now the green in my lineup is also the green I used up here for the heading, and it is my own mix. And again, this one took a bit to get right. And it's a mixture of a Hongdian ink that I bought because it said teal, but it's actually not a teal as I think of teal. It's way more dark green, but with a blue leaning tint. I can admit to that. But because of that, I don't use it. And it was not very expensive, but I just hate stuff sitting there and not being used. So I thought, what can I do to make this more to my taste? And then I think my currently favorite ink, it's not very original, is J. Urban Lidité, because it serves to mute other colors as well. And this is just something about this works so much better for me. And I went like back and forth with the how much of this and how much of that, but this is what I arrived at. And this is another one I've actually been using for the last few weeks, and even though it's not in the official lineup, and so I wanted to, because I was really trialing it and liked it so much that I've already re-inked it. So I think you can really get a feeling for the overall theme with these big splodges. And it's in my Kaweco Sport Smooth Sage. And what I did here, trying not to let it squeak, was just use a regular empty cartridge, fill it up. Someone left a comment that eyedropping a Kaweco Sport would be an option. The only thing is, because this is not see-through, I would be nervous about it, because I'm sure I would forget about it and then open it up and I don't want that. So if I ever get a Kaweco that's more see-through, that's definitely something I would try and do. So this is a custom mix. And again, I'm calling it a name where you can sort of see where it comes from. So that is Teal Tea. And that's in the Kaweco Sport Smooth Sage colorway with a medium nib. And yeah, this just works really well. It's not like the perfect color match, but it's really, with the writing, it's quite close. So we have 2 fine nibs in this lineup. I need to make a note of that up here. I'm usually a medium person, but with the Pilot Kakunos, I wanted 2 in the series, but I didn't want to have them both be the same. So this is why I went with a fine nib. And actually, for some of the things, like smaller spaces, I think having a fine nib on hand is great. I don't think I will ever go extra fine. I know that there was a period in my life when I loved writing with broads, but because of the whole, writing an awful lot, broad never really, it all went into one big splotch. I always had the feeling. I've recently ordered a 1.1 stub just to see, to play with and see how that compares, and if that's something I want to pursue, but with the option of switching it so the pen is not stuck at a stub. I'm also thinking about, I have one to be eco in a medium nib, and I'm thinking about trying, like with the standard models, trialing a 1.1 stub for this as well. But yeah, let me know what you think about it. But I'm going to let it dry for a tiny bit and then bring you in. So we're, at least the right side is dry. I colored in the top as well. These stickers are from Cute Stickers Only on Etsy, and I love them because they're really simple, and yeah, you can just fill in the ink colors. I don't have an ink bottle stamp at the moment. I enjoy doing the brown swatches more, but I might get some at some point. Yeah, this is still drying a bit. So the Ancient Blue Lady just has like lovely shading in it. Possid Lune, a bit not that exciting, but I just love the color and how the ink performs. The same for the Cashmere Rose. I'm quite excited to use that color this month. And then the Baltic Breathe with the lovely glitter in there. This is why I thought I need to have a pen that I know handles shimmer well. I tend to go more for practical than aesthetic reasons when I pair pens. And then the custom TLT mix. I just love this. I try to follow, like, note down stuff about the recipe so I can replicate it, but I did, because it took me quite a while to do, I have the file is quite full, so I think that's one I'm going to use up. And then what I said at the beginning was that actually the pens somehow match really well in their aesthetic. Do you see what I mean? They're also the muted blue-green, as if they, even though the inks don't, the inks don't really match the outside of the pen. The pens itself still reflect the theme of sort of the stormy sky over a garden where something is in flower. But yeah, let me know what you think. These are all more affordable pens. I have one pen coming. I've basically bitten the bullet, and to celebrate the release of my latest book, it will come out on March 15. I've treated myself to a makeup pen. So that's to come. That's going to be my most expensive pen, hopefully for the whole year, but we don't know. So yeah, I've decided to go not into high-end production pens, but into makeup pens instead, because yeah, supporting an artist, like where I'm from as an author, that's definitely what I want to do. And so yeah, that's when that arrives, I'm going to sort of do a big unboxing thing for that one. But apart from that, these are all very affordable pens. I think the Aswine is probably the most expensive one, but the Aswine and the Kaweco Sport are probably sort of in one. These are sort of in one price category, and these two are in one. But, and I don't think, none of the inks are all pretty affordable too. So there's nothing truly special, but you can see you can still achieve a beautiful effect. I'm quite pleased with the outcome of this, but let me know what you think in the comments, and thank you so much for watching. See you soon.